Welcome to episode 3 of our Cunard Queen Anne maiden voyage vlog series. In this episode we arrive in our first port of call, A Coruña. We sadly have our worst ever speciality dining experience, but we do also enjoy some fabulous entertainment and insight talks as we make our way to our next port of call, Lisbon. Our day started in A Coruña, which is the second largest city behind Vigo of the Galicia region of Spain. After a very wet start, the sun finally made an appearance, giving us the opportunity to disembark the ship and explore the port.
And we're off in La Coruna. Look at that. La Coruna. There we are. And there is she. Excited, Paulie?
That was alright, wasn't it? We getting back on there?
Hello then. So the sun is shining, the rain stopped. So how awesome's that? What? No. So there she is then. So we've been to La Coruna before, and we know if we have a walk all the way over here, so we're going to walk all the way over here, all the way to there, and you can get some good views of the ship. So that's what we're going to do. Right then.
Right then.
So we are in La Coruna, and the beautiful Queen Anne's there, and can you believe it? We're stood here, and we can still get a bit of Wi-Fi. Which the Wi-Fi has been great on board, hasn't it, Paul? It's the new Starlink, and it seems to be working very, very well.
Working pretty good. As you would have seen earlier when we went on our balcony, it was a miserable day. But they say that the sun shines on the righteous, and despite that, the sun's shining on us.
I know, but look at this. This is La Coruna. It's a lovely, lovely little harbour town. So we're going to have a wander all the way around the back here to see if we can get some really good pictures of Queen Anne from the aft, or towards the aft.
So we're going to see if we're going to try and get a picture of Queen Anne's bottom. Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, saucy.
After a lovely walk around La Coruña with Dan and Tony and stocking up on some water and postcards for our Patreon members, we headed back to the ship.
But we're back on. The boys have gone straight to the bar, surprise, surprise, on the aft to see if there's a bit of sunshine still there. But look at this. Our balcony, we haven't been able to use it much because it's been very wet and windy. But this is the view on the other side, so you're looking away from where we were just walking around. And this is the other side of La Coruna. But it's lovely and quiet. Very, very peaceful. So hopefully now we're in Spain and the weather forecast for Lisbon as well is good. We'll be able to make a bit of the most of having some drinks with our friends on the balcony. So that'd be great. But I better go and check with the boys, go and find them, and then I think they're trying to find if they can get the football. So we'll be showing you around a lot more of the ship as we go along. Right, I found it. I've been trying to look for a laundrette. It is signposted actually. This is deck 4. It's open 8 till 8 PM, but it's actually off the corridor going into the centre of the ship. So hopefully there's nobody in here. I can show you around. Hello there. Hello there. So pleased to say there's still a laundrette. Just talking to the gentleman in there, it was really lovely. He said there's only one iron though, and there's normally 2. But he said it's good, it's free, it's complimentary, and you get the laundry sheets to go in as well. So just follow the signs if you want to find the laundrette. There we are, deck 9. and the aft pool, or the Panorama Pool Club as it's now called. And the ship boys, I think I can see them over there in the corner. Here they are sat in the shade. Hello.
Hello.
Happy?
This gentleman.
Hello.
How are you, Carole?
Yeah, very good.
Paul was busy watching football while Ken Goes Cruising looked strangely on. I enjoyed the music of the full Irish duo and watched our fabulous sail away from La Coruña with the water salute.
Father Tim was telling Tommy how the Israelites came in.
Right, so let's tell you about our second specialty restaurant, which is Sir Samuel's, which is right in the same place as Ajuar, where we have the Japanese. It's just the other side at the aft of the ship, isn't it? And it seems to be managed by the same sort of team.
The same team, so I do find it a little bit strange that when you go to check into the restaurant, it's done with a central desk. Rather than have one each. So when you go to check in, knows what restaurant, which isn't a big thing, but I find it a bit odd. So anyway, in we go. The first thing we notice is it's quite cramped in there, aren't it?
Tables are close together.
Very close together.
Far more area
Yes.
in Ajuar. We all booked this prior to coming on board, and we wanted to have a dinner with Ken and Lindsay, Chatty Cathy, Dan and Tony and us. So there's 7 of us, because we thought that coming towards the middle of our cruise, it'd be really nice to have an evening together where we could all eat together. So we were all really, really looking forward to it. And we sat down, they got a table for 7, perfect. And as soon as we sat down, there was a sense of fraughtness. And you could see the waiters were all, and you're thinking, oh no.
There was a sense of doom.
Well, anyway, so we sat down, we ordered, and the order was taken promptly, and we all had drinks ordered, apart from Tony had a drink ordered, which sadly didn't come, but we'll go into that in a moment. But apart from that, we all sat there, looked at the menu, thought, oh, this is a nice menu,
Yeah,
very, very good. Let's just get on with ordering, and then the starters came. Now, I had a starter of a Caesar salad, and I've never ever seen a Caesar salad prepared like this. Watch this. Thank you so much. Look at that. Wow. So that was a great start to the meal, wasn't it?
I have to say, it was very impressive.
Yeah, and you had fish cake. Well, it said on the menu, it said fish cakes.
I had crab cakes. Now,
That's
I
it.
don't want to be fussy. Well, I do want to be fussy, because you know what I'm like. I'm a right old moaning minnie.
This is an extra charge restaurant, so you paid $31.50 each?
If you pre-book it, it's $31.50. If you pay when you get on, it's more than that. Fish cakes, crab cakes, that's cakes. That's more than one cake. So they bring it out, and it's one cake. And there was 3 of us had crab cakes. Oh, where's our other crab cake? Oh, that's it. Okay, well, why did you say cakes then? The crab cakes were delicious. There was like a mayonnaise that came with it, and it was fabulous. I would have it on every meal. It was so delicious. You had your
Caesar salad was
you
delicious.
had your big old salad. Everybody
had their starters,
and it was all good.
Ken wasn't so keen on his bone marrow thing, but then Cathy had it and she enjoyed it with her main, didn't she?
So we're about half an hour in. Tony still hasn't got his drink. So we obviously ordered the mains as well. And then the mains start coming out. And then the sides come out. So as soon as Dan's main came out, he's like, my steak is stone cold. It's absolutely stone cold. Cathy's steak is cold. Your steak is warm, but Carole's not into like eating piping hot food. My steak is warm. It was a nice piece of steak and it was cooked correctly, but it was at best warm. Ken's was cold, Lindsay's was cold. They bought the sides out. All the sides were cold apart from...
Well, Kenny and Lindsay's were warm like us. They weren't stone cold like Dan.
It was
and
stone
Kathy's
cold.
was stone cold.
Yeah.
You put your hand on it and it was cold.
It was stone cold. All the sides apart from the fries were cold. The onion rings, which we were told was like, oh, this is the best onion rings you're ever going to have. I've had better onion rings, frozen onion rings from Iceland. And bearing in mind, this is a top chef making these onion rings. They were stodgy. The batter was just, they were just not nice at all. Onion rings is one of my favourite things. I don't want to sound like a total Philistine. They were rubbish. Tony's steak, he had no complaints at all, because once again they didn't bring him anything. He still hasn't got his drink, and now he's got no steak. And the waiter is thinking like, well, I'm sure that bloke ordered a steak.
Well, the waiter was dealing with us seemed to be the one that everyone was going to, because there seemed to be issues, and there were.
And I felt bad for him because
he kept getting dragged away. So he was concentrating on trying to do the right thing, and he would get dragged away to sort out something else. So I thought, oh, this is going to be a disaster.
So he was trying to be all things to all people. So we call the waiter over. Eventually, when he's dealt with everybody else's problems, and Dan said, well, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to eat that because it's cold. And Kathy said, well, I'm not going to eat mine because it's cold, so you're going to have to like replace those steaks. Tony still hasn't got his steak. They take the steaks away, and what Dan did, which was funny, is he cut a little triangle out of his steak.
Because I said to it, is it really cold in the middle?
And it's freezing. So they took them away, and then X amount of minutes later, they bought new steaks out, but Dan's new steak still had the triangle cut out that he cut out before. And it's like, but of course, because they've recooked it, it's now not cooked how he wanted it cooked.
Medium rare.
And neither is Kathy's, because they've now been overcooked. So they're hot, they're now hot, but they're not cooked how they want them. So, and then Tony's steak still not arrived. Now, bearing in mind, Tony wanted a medium rare steak. So it should have been one of the first ones out. And then we're like, well, where's Tony's steak? That, you know, this is no good, that's no good, because they're now overcooked. He still hasn't got his steak or his drink, which he's ordered now. We're talking about 50 minutes ago, or maybe even an hour. They bought his steak out, and I kid you not, they must have just put it on the pan and gone, and bought it out. It was absolutely raw in the middle. And we're then having a sales meeting, and we're, you know...
By then, it was really difficult, because we wanted it to be such a special night. I really felt for the staff, the waiting staff, because they were up against it. But we're going to talk about the discussion you had with the manager afterwards. But we all said, you know what, this isn't up to the standard that we felt we should receive paying in a specialty restaurant. So we made the decision to not wait till the dessert, just go, because we were starting to feel really upset and just a bit angry, and we didn't want to sort of, you know, there was other people around. We thought we'll just go out and speak to the management and explain why we've been so unhappy.
Yes, but even if it hadn't have been an extra cost restaurant, it was just completely unacceptable, and it's easily the worst experience we've ever had in a specialty restaurant on any cruise we've ever been on. To put the tin hat on it, so we go out and we ask to speak to the manager, and we explained the situation, and then Dan said, you know, and what made it worse is you took my steak away and you just cooked it a bit more and brought it out. Oh no, that was a new piece of steak. And it's like, so it's a new piece of steak, but it had the same triangle cut out of it as when you took it away. Oh no, that's definitely a new piece of steak. So Dan got his phone out and he had pictures of both
before and after.
And of course it was the same piece of steak. So that was what they call to add insult to injury. What we're going to do about that? What I'll do is I'll send an email to the purser's office, and they'll contact you and we'll have a resolution. So we've now been to the purser's office. We just come to chat to you about the situation we had last night in the Sir Samuel's. Well, I don't know nothing about it. No
email has been sent.
We haven't received any email. Well, we wouldn't. They wouldn't send us an email. Well, they would send you an email because they said they were going to send you an email. Oh, well, they haven't sent us anything. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll email somebody, and then we'll come back to you. So at the moment, it's a watch this space, but so far, the food has been an absolute debacle.
And I think talking to people around the ship, people are having similar, not saying about Sir Samuel's because we haven't spoken to anyone else about that, but in general, people are generally, still having a good time on the ship. We've got great company.
Yeah.
But the food is the essence of going on a cruise, and they're just getting so many things wrong. And like I said, we're just hoping that it will improve. This is a maiden voyage, we know that. And there'll be people out there, well, you picked a maiden voyage, what do you expect?
Yeah.
You don't expect that.
You don't expect that.
You expect little glitches, and you expect teams gelling together. We've had probably about 4 staff smile. They look broken already, and that's really sad.
We've spoken to 5 or 6 members of staff, and this is their first ever cruise.
We took to more
they've
than
been
that,
on.
Paul.
Well, at least that.
It's not even, they haven't even been working with Cunard before. They're new to cruising.
Completely
So
new.
you think this is a maiden voyage, you'd get all your experienced staff. I know you can't deplete all the ships and you have to have a mix, but I mean, there seems to be a lot. And, you know, this is all just our observations. We don't know if this is the whole sort of accuracy. This is what we're being spoken about and speaking to staff and saying. There's a lot that now that Carnival obviously owns Cunard and P&O. It looks like they may be rotating staff. Now, we don't know if this is 100% true, but we're hearing it not from just one source, but from a few sources. And we're finding that when we did our P&O, if you check out our vlogs, we found that the service on there was bland. It was efficient and it was good, but there was no personality. And we know with our previous experience with Cunard, you always get personality, you always get top-notch service. And we thought, oh my God, is it that? Because the service we've had, when it hasn't been fraught, even when it's calm, is bland.
Is it the P&O effect?
Is it the P&O effect? We're thinking P&O and Cunard, you shouldn't mix them because they're totally different products. Is this a fundamental problem with Cunard on this new ship, or is it something that's going to be fixed? So watch this space to find out.
Now on to happier things. Let's talk about tonight's entertainment.
Right then, so the entertainment for tonight was, in theory, if you look at the programme, one of the most popular or famous people that they've got on this
on the maiden voyage
so far. And it's Russell Watson.
Mr. Russell Watson, the famous
opera singer.
Is he a tenor? Or is he a fiver?
Let me have a look at the
He's
programme.
a tenor. I know he's a tenor. He's a tenor. He's a great singer. And
What's the wrong one?
I have to say,
so many programmes.
She'll join me in the rest of this broadcast in a minute.
Do you want me to tell you about him? Because people
No,
don't
I don't.
know.
What?
The world-renowned tenor.
Oh, he's a tenor.
Yeah, Russell Watson will perform his spectacular show with classic songs old and new, together with a selection of hits from his illustrious career. Having performed at many prestigious events and for royalty all over the world, Russell invites you to this memorable and breathtaking performance, presented by entertainment director Neil Kelly.
It's the second show. It's absolutely rammed, because I would imagine that, like lots of people with whatever, let's get away from the dining. No,
Yes,
I'm going to put this behind.
because the
Get
entertainment-
away. But the entertainment's
yeah.
fabulous. Pet hates of mine on a cruise. Right, the show starts at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. It doesn't start at 8:15 or 8:20 or 8:30. So why oh why cruise lines, and I'm
Are you letting
talking to
people in?
all of you, are you letting people in who can't be bothered to get there on time, and then that spoils everybody else's experience when you got idiots walking up and down, oh look, there's a seat over there, so you're going to sit there,
I'm
love?
walking right in front of
But
the
walking
stage
across
and
the
up
front
and
of the
down, and
stage
it's
is like, I couldn't believe it. We're 10 minutes into the show and this couple appear. Oh, can we sit there? And it's like, so we have to stand up, and they all go across and they sit down. But the show's great, so it's carrying on, and he's giving it, singing the cornetto song, and it's all lovely.
Cornetto song.
Laurie,
Right.
oh, and all that sort of stuff is great. He's a great entertainer, really good.
Audience participation. It's really good.
25 minutes into the show, Dan gets a tap on the shoulder, and it's some Cunard bloke who works for Cunard, and he's got a couple with him. Now, I'm assuming that these couple, they must have some clout, or they've spent a lot of dollar on this ship. Because not only have they turned up 25 minutes late for the show, is he now wants us to move out the way. So we all have to stand up to let him in. Is he have the audacity then to tell us off if you were sat in the middle where you should be, we wouldn't have to move people. Now, luckily, Dan is a lot more diplomatic than me, because I'd have been saying to him, well, if those people didn't turn up 25 minutes late...
And I think we've got the right to sit actually where we want.
Where we want?
Yes.
So it's just really annoying that they still do that. It annoys the people in there.
Yeah.
It's not fair on the entertainers.
No.
They're trying to get into the flow of stuff to give you the best show they can, and then you've got these morons walking up and down. Oh, is it? Oh, the seats over there. Look. But yeah,
so anyway,
that's a poorly
once that was all done,
rant over and take the rant alert off the screen. Russell Watson, what a fabulous entertainer.
Yeah.
We thoroughly enjoyed
yeah,
it.
It was very, very good.
Really, really good.
Yeah, great entertainer. He's actually doing 2 shows on this evening, and he's doing 2 shows that are going to be repeated, aren't they? Because he was good. I'm sure a lot of people will go back and watch it.
Well, maybe the people that turn out 25 minutes late, they'll go to the first 25
and then leave
minutes and then leave. Who knows?
Who knows?
After enjoying a fabulous show from Russell Watson, we headed to room 1840, or as we call it, the Casino Bar, for 1 or maybe 2 for the road with Dan and Tony and Ken and Lindsay.
Right then, we're up. We're up for breakfast.
We're up, and in shock news just in, Carole got the time wrong again, and we've got up an hour to her.
Well, I was thinking I'll jump in the show before waking Paulie Morgan up and thinking, it's about 8:30 and I'll get him up for 9 o'clock because we've got a busy day today because we want to go and see Chris Frame and the Insight Talk and also Claire Balding. So we thought, get up, have breakfast. And then when I got out the shower and looked at the TV, because I like to get the maps on, I was like, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. Shall I tell him?
I already knew, didn't I?
I did. Yeah. Anyway, so good. Looking forward to an interesting day at sea on our way to Lisbon. So let's have a look. Let me show you. The sun's shining again. So this is where we are. I don't know if you can see this on here. A bit close up there, aren't we? Well, you can see, obviously, we were in A Coruña yesterday, and we're heading down to Lisbon, which we're really looking forward to because we haven't been there for quite a few years, have we? And look at this on our balcony. What a way to start the day. How gorgeous is this? Being at sea is definitely our happy place. And guess what?
What?
You've just been out with your big pole, haven't you, Paulie?
Yeah.
So take a look at some of these fabulous views of the Queen Anne and us.
Take him with my great big wanger.
So this morning we've had 2 really, really good, another fabulous entertainment on Cunard with the Cunard Insight Talks, as you can see here. Now, first up was...
We've filled ourselves up with a great big bucket full of culture, haven't we? Today?
We have. First up was a lovely man called Chris Frame. Now, we've been talking to Chris Frame on the internet, on social media and stuff, because he does a lot of cruise ship videos. We've got to know him through YouTube, and he's an Australian guy. And we've known of him for quite a while, but never met him, because we were asked by Barry Downs, who's also his partner in the Big Cruise podcast that they do in Australia. And we've been on their podcast, and so if you're into podcasts, go and check that out. And it was really exciting to see that Chris was going to be on this cruise, that we would meet him eventually. I was excited to see his talks because he's a published historian, basically, isn't he, for Cunard, and he's got so knowledgeable. Anything Cunard, he is the man.
I was going to say, but Carole wouldn't stop for a breath. He's a Cunard aficionado.
He is. So we went down to the theatre to get some seats ready to watch him, and it was just brilliant.
Once again, the Royal Court Theatre, absolutely packed to the gunnels, and once again, people coming in half an hour late.
Yeah.
But now, enough of that.
So going back to Chris, if you see him on the programme, make sure you go and see him. He's doing more talks this week, which we want to go to. It was just full of the history. This is all about how transatlantic, the ships what started it, and where we are now with obviously Queen Mary 2, isn't it?
And how the Cunard ships were used in the Second World War, how they the fight between Cunard and White Star to be like the big cheese of British cruising, and how eventually Cunard swallowed up White Star Line and was victorious.
We was just sat there just fascinated. Presentation skills are excellent.
He's one of these people, and I met him the other day and he was lovely, and I think it was quite funny because I don't think I made any secret of this. Carole knows far more about the whole thing about cruising and people who talk about cruises. She knows far more about it. Now obviously she's been mentioning Chris Frame for a long time, and then I actually met him before Carole, so I happened to be on my own, and
this was on the VIP
on the
visit.
VIP thing. And what was even more shocking is he came up and said, "Oh, hello, Paul. I was really pleased to meet you." I went like that because he's about 6'17", and of course, when I had a lovely chat to him, and then when I went back to meet Carole, she's like, "Where have you been, mate?" I said, "I was just outside talking to some bloke, Chris Frame." She's like, "Whoa, you better not have been." It's like,
so hopefully we'll catch up with him again. And then next up was Claire Balding. Now, for those that you don't know her, she's British, and she is she's had a very varied career, but she does lots of sports commentary.
She's a sports commentator, sports presenter. She's worked with all the major channels in the UK, been about for a good while.
It's all about getting a bit more up close and personal with her and doing like a Q&A. And it was fascinating. A lovely lady, just obviously just naturally that she presents. Yeah. She was just coming out with some real sort of gems, wasn't she? Stuff talking about Terry Wogan and people that that have been in our lives that we used to really like that sadly passed away, and talking about all these different things. And it was thoroughly that went really, really quick. Now I've got to talk about the theatre seating, because it is, for me, it's not working out the best. I've got short femurs, so short legs, and the seats are very comfortable, they're very deep, and you've got lovely big arm rests. But where my legs are short, my feet don't touch the floor, and can get quite uncomfortable underneath my knees. So I have to sort of, it sounds a bit bizarre, but I've sort of opened my legs so they fall to the side where the bits are a bit shorter. So sitting in the theatre for that amount of time, I was starting to get really, really uncomfortable. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone else has issues with these seats, because the boys are fine and they said they're really comfortable, no problem at all. But I am struggling a little bit. I'm also struggling with the theatre. The incline for me, as you'll see from these pictures, my view is mostly of backs of heads if I can't get to a front row, which we haven't managed so far.
How they've designed it, instead of being an angle
it's
that's
quite
slowly
flat.
getting steeper, the first probably 10 rows
more
are dead flat, almost all the same height, and then they start getting steeper. But if you want to get close to the front, it means that we'll try and position Carole where she can see through people's heads, or if I
can sit on an aisle, I can sort of slightly go like that and I can see. But further to the back, the incline does improve. So maybe we need to go there.
Well,
we like to be near the front, don't we? So you can see facial expressions and see all that. So that's my little gripe about the theatre. It's not suiting my legs.
So I'm going to pop down to reception and see if they've got a couple of copies of the yellow pages.
I could do with
we could glue to.
I could do with a booster seat and a little stool. But anyway.
For lunch today, we headed to the Wildness Cafe in the Pavilion. We had the added bonus of chatting to Mike Doyle, who had entertained us on the first night. Even though the food wasn't aesthetically pleasing to the eye, it was delicious and very healthy. After a lovely relaxing afternoon at sea, we headed to Tramonto for our third specialty dining experience. Tramonto is inspired by fresh Mediterranean flavours with a peppering of African and Arabic influences. Tramonto costs $18 per person if you pre-book, or $20 if you book while on board. There are also some cost extra options on the menu. Here's a little look at what's on offer.
foil and olive. And Paul doesn't like olives, do you, Paulie?
I do not, sir. Do you like olives, Tone? I do.
Looks like we're sorted then, Tone.
Well, that's yours, then. Yeah.
So the boys that hate olives are trying olives. Paul first.
No, Dan first.
Oh, Dan first then. Does that convert you to olives?
No. But it's not bad. It's actually not too bad.
Right, Paulie.
About every 5 years, Carole says, you ought to try this one, you might like it. It's been about 5 years, so... And already I can tell you. No.
Tasty.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a bit of something going on here.
Spice.
Bit of chilli in there.
I didn't think it'd be spicy stuff in my melon and ham.
Got chilli on the top.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, spicy.
It is. We also have the as part of the Sunday.
That's sweet, salty and hot. Ooh, it's gonna be a good night tonight.
So.
So it's a hit so far, and please let this continue because we haven't had much luck with the food front, have we? No. But we've got good vibes for tonight, haven't we, boy? Yeah. Tonight's going to be a good night. Seen the thing on Sir Samuel's last night. Tony was waiting for a glass of wine. They asked for a glass of Merlot. They didn't have Merlot. So, yeah. But we got water, so we're happy with water. Your steak.
Salsa verde for your polenta.
Thank you.
Oh, this loveliness. Oh, you can feel it's all hot, can't you? Yeah. Because you can feel the heat coming off the plate. So after Sir Samuel's last night in cold food, this food is piping hot now. Piping hot, perfect, tasty, everyone's really happy. The service has been amazing. So, Tremonto, thumbs up big time so far, isn't it?
That's what we kind of thought it would be.
So panna cotta, what's yours thing down?
Donuts.
Donuts.
I can't remember the actual name of it.
Yeah, he said it's deep fried donuts. I said, yeah.
And we've got gelato, Paulie.
Well, it's not supposed to be gelato, is it? It's supposed to be ganache. Maybe it's that one. Maybe that's one. Ganache.
Ganache?
No, it's called ganache.
Oh, ganache.
Oh, my, that's nice.
Is that nice?
It always tastes like it's a bit alcohol-y. I don't know whether...
Maybe. Dad hasn't got his.
Oh no. Panna cotta, stunning.
It's very good.
It's lovely, thank you. So verdict, Paulie Morgan, on Tremonto?
What I like is how Carole had to look at the placemat. I was very pleased with that meal. The service was very good, food was very good, no complaints whatsoever apart from what are them fries called?
Polenta fries.
The polenta fries. All you people out there who make food, polenta is rubbish. Stop it. Stop it now.
Use potatoes.
Use chips, proper chips. But other than that, it was fabulous.
Tony, would you agree?
Absolutely.
Apart from the
Wonderful
Merlot.
milk. Apart from the Merlot.
The Merlot. Dan?
Very good dinner. It was, compared to last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the donuts are good. Love donuts.
And the service.
Service
has been fantastic, hasn't it?
Thumbs up.
So it's a hit. It's a hit for Tremonto.
Tremonto was tremendous.
Tremonto was tremendous. Ooh. Terrific Tremonto.
Oh, see that? You had to go too far, didn't you?
Tantalising Tremonto. What's another word beginning with T? No. We'll stop there.
It's fabulous, thank you.
And we've got fabulous service, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been brilliant.
Chandra from Mauritius.
Yes, yes, so thank you so much. Yes, and you.
After a tantalising, tremendous Tramonto dining experience, we went for an after-dinner stroll on the upper decks, giving us a bird's eye view of the captain's loyalty party. We were invited, but it clashed with our Tramonto meal, so we had to give it a miss.
So they've just presented a lady who spent 1,872 days on Cunard. How amazing is that? Fair play to her. Right, so we're heading to the Commodore Club because we've only been there in the dark. So we think we're going the right way. Dan says this is the right way. I believe him. Thank you. The Admiral's Lounge. Wonder who's in there. Shall we have a look? No, it's locked.
It's a meeting room. You've got Churchill's at the end, right?
Which is the cigar room. Churchill's, which we don't want to go in there, but maybe we'll have a look in there during the day. And here we are, the Commodore Club. So, where's Paul? There's Paul. Over here. This has been nice. So look, we've got the gin perfect serves, and I've got dried flowers on the outside of mine, and you've got your Queen Mary, haven't you, Paulie?
I have.
How much were they on the menu?
About $30 each.
$60.
$14.
$14 plus 15%.
Yeah.
It's about
$16.10.
so in pounds. It's about 13 pounds a drink. Oh my god!
50 cents above the drinks package.
Yes, you can't get these on the drinks package. You have to pay extra because they're above. Because you can get $13.50, isn't it, on the drinks package. We chose not to have it, and we're going to do a count up as we go in along. And at the moment, we think we're sort of breaking even, but that may change by the end of the week. So now it's taste time, Pauline.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that photo Paul's taken. That's good. And look at this lovely sunset there in the Commodore Club, and it's beautiful. Anyway, drink it and taste it.
Oh, I don't like it, mate.
You haven't tried it?
I only ordered it because you were going to have one. I thought, well, I'm not dipping out. I'm fed up of having $5 drinks where you were having $20 wines. I'm not used to straws.
Can't take you anywhere.
Oh, that's not very nice at all.
Not very nice. Really, it
It's
is.
lovely.
So I
It's missing the cucumber, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, it hasn't got any cucumber in it.
Oh, where's the cucumber? Well, I'm on trying my first Queen Anne. My flavour on the outside, so I don't know.
That's just they didn't have any clean glasses, isn't it? That's not the face of
Well, I was
somebody
expecting
whose
something a little bit
life's
more.
been changed by a gin and tonic.
No, it's quite florally with a bit of citrus.
I'm surprised it's florally because all the flowers are on the outside.
But let me try this one.
I don't know whether Mr. Magoo put that in the glass,
Mr.
but he put it on the wrong side.
This one's more strawberry and junipers, isn't it, Pauline?
Yeah. But no cucumber, which should be in there.
Yeah, I think Mary wins, doesn't she?
With so much to choose from on this evening's programme, we decided to head to the Queen's Room for a second helping of the fabulous Mike Doyle.
So people have been worried that there's no dance in the Queen's Room anymore, but look, there is.
I am but a fool. Darling, I love you. Though you treat me cruel, you hurt me and you make me cry. But if you leave me, I will surely die. Everybody say, darling, I will never be another.
Once again, Mike Doyle didn't disappoint, bringing to an end another day on Cunard's Queen Anne. Join us in the next episode where we reach Lisbon. We show you more venues and some fabulous outside spaces on Queen Anne, but there's definitely something missing. Plus our dining experiences continue to be up and down.